Okay, this is just another one of those so bizarre moments. It's 1:20, no, it's 12:24 a.m. I'm up really late. I've just been compelled to draw out this floor plan right here for the house and adding a shipping container, which is what I heard the Lord tell me he wanted me to do, and to do it quickly. And I'm like, it's just so weird with everything that's going on with Trent and everything. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, wait, pause, new video. Anyway, new video. So it doesn't make any sense. The timing, it's like I may have to protect Trent, and I don't really have, the kind of finances you need to do all that. So anyway, so I'm sitting here drawing this whole thing out. There it is. There's the whole floor plan. I just drew the container part right over there. So I drew the floor plan out. So here's the container part, how it would be set up in proximity to where Clay's at, and the shed, and then the rest of the house is here. With Bad Cat swatting me. And I just finished drawing it out. And I hear the TV, and the guy's got a pretty thick Australian accent, and watch what comes on. Just as crazy. Okay, so again, it's 12:26. Listen to this. This is what comes on.
1-800-PACRA. Just give us a call and we'll deliver one of our bright and shiny moving containers right to your home or office. Ready to pack up and move at your pace. In fact...
Okay, again, one more time. Sorry. One more time. So while I'm drawing this container layout, and I've been praying, Lord, is this what you really wanted me to do or want me to do? Look what comes on as soon as I finish drawing it. Listen.
Move with 1-800-PACRA. Just give us a call and we'll deliver one of our bright and shiny moving containers right to your home or office.
And I'm sitting here with Bad Cat drawing out the floor plan for the container. Okay, whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm having to pull over. I was just talking to Michael Zedek about, I was asking the Lord to give me the confidence I need to put this shipping container on our property, and to do what he wants me to do. And it's really hard because I'm like taking such a, it's such a big step. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted and everything from all the work I've already done. So anyway, I was talking to Michael, and I told Michael, well, I got to run in the bank first. I'm going to look at these concrete blocks. And so I told Michael I have to run in this bank first, and I wanted to look at these concrete blocks before he and I could continue our conversation. And I'm making a U-turn to go back and show everybody this, because this is unbelievable what just happened. This is the way the Lord does things. I told Michael I got to run in the bank, and I'm out in a place called Schertz, Texas. I just drove out here so I could look at this place called Keller Materials because they have big concrete blocks. And I need these concrete blocks to set the shipping container on as a base. So the point is, this is a city outside of San Antonio. This is not somewhere I go to. I have never, ever been to this branch of this bank. And, it's Friday, Battle of Flowers parade. Everything's closed in San Antonio. Like my bank in San Antonio is closed for the Battle of Flowers parade. And so, I thought, well, I'm out here in Schertz, Texas. And I saw, a Frost Bank while I was talking to Michael Zedek on the phone. And I thought, you know what? Hey, Michael, let's continue our conversation. I'm going to run into this bank real quick and make a deposit, and then I'll call you in 10 minutes when I get out. So I pull into this bank I've never gone to. I'm outside San Antonio, and I'm talking to Michael about, the Lord wants me to put one of these little shipping containers on the property. So now I'm going to do a little video to show you the way that happened and what happened right after I went through the bank drive-thru. So here we go. Okay, so So I backtracked and came back because I wanted to document what just happened. This is just mind-blowing. I was on the phone earlier with Kat, and I said the Lord told me he would confirm right now that he wants me to put a shipping container, you know, in my backyard and convert it to a living situation. And I'm like, all right. Anyway, so here I am at the bank. There's the drive-thru I just went through. Right there's the drive-thru. So I'm going to go through here and exit the same way I exited. And so I'm looking for this place called Keller Materials. Well, normally I should go over there and get on the access road and head that way because that's the way I know to go. But I took a right instead. And so I took a right and I'm driving down this country road and look right here to my left. I'm like, I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a company that sells mobile minis and like job site stuff. And I'm like, oh wow, that's weird. And so I'm forced to go this way. And I look over and I'm like, oh my God, they sell shipping containers. Look at that. I just pulled in and there it is. There's proof. So I just went to the bank and the turn I made had me turn right to a shipping container place. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Wow. If that's not tell you what to do right there, I don't know what is. That's wild. Hey, Billy, look what I found. Check that out. Smooth cut, buddy. It's got a smooth surface. So, there we go. I'll need 6 of them. All right. This is mind-boggling. I just did the $100 bill video, and I decided to look up to buy a shipping container, and I clicked on, look, I'll show you my search. Here's my search. And so I clicked on this 10 things you need to know before you buy a shipping container, and look what it brought up. Look at that picture. I just did the $100 bill video. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So let's see. Just did the $100 bill video, and look what's on the side of the shipping container. That's insane. I was just praying, how am I going to get that thing down the street? And then check that out. Look what came down my street. What are the odds? Right in front of my house. I was like, how am I going to get that thing in the backyard? Lord, show me what to do. What are the odds? Okay, so this morning I was praying, how am I going to get this container in my backyard? How am I going to get it back there? I don't think they can drive back there because the ground is uneven. And look what shows up right in front of my house. I just got off the phone with Kat saying, Kat, I think I'm going to need a crane to lift it up, lift the container up and set it down. And look what drove in front of my house. Yeah. Okay, so what are the odds? There's my house. There's my house right there. And look what's right next to my house. Okay, I want to do a real short video to add on to the video you just saw with the crane. That was earlier today. Now listen, that crane video is so mind-boggling because this morning I was driving to take my cat to get dipped because some fleas popped up. So I was driving the cat to get dipped, and I was talking to Kat on the phone, my friend Kat, and I said these words to her pretty much exactly. I said, you know, Kat, I don't think that the Lord's going to let me be able to get this shipping container in the backyard by just backing a trailer up there and dropping it. I said, the way the Lord does things, I'm pretty positive he's going to make me use a crane because it's a manifestation of what he's going to do with the church. Those that are on the rock that are going to be shipped out, he's going to pick them up and then set them back down. And I said, that's what a crane does. A crane like picks something up and then it sets it down. And so I told Kat, I said, I'm sure he's going to make me use a crane, even though we could more than likely back the shipping container down the side of the house and still get it to the location in the backyard. So, but I said those words to her. I said, I'm sure the Lord's going to probably make me use a crane. Can you imagine the look on my face when I had just gone in to take my cat, and I walked in, they took my cat to the back, they dipped him, they handed him right back to me, and I drove right back home. So it was like 15 minutes since I had talked to my friend Kat Young, and I pulled down my street and there's that giant crane on my street. I mean, can you imagine that? I just told her, no, I'm sure the Lord's going to make me use a crane because he's going to pick up the church, the bride, and then I saw the New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven adorned as a bride. He's going to pick it up and then move it and set it back down. And that shipping container is getting set down on solid rock, not on a concrete form, on 4 solid rock blocks. And that's part of the miracle too. It's just one miracle after another concerning the shipping container. And that's the way he revealed to me, yes, the bride, the ones that were on the rock, those are the ones that are leaving. And they'll be picked up and set back down. That's it. Absolutely mind destroying. All right, there it is. Hey, Billy, look what I found. Check that out. Smooth cut, buddy. It's got a smooth surface. So, there we go. I'll need 6 of them. All right. So here I am where I bought the shipping container. I'm gonna go take a look at it, measure it, get it ready to go. Okay, so here's the container, and here it is. The ID number CPWU 300034-5. And there it is, and the doors open on this side. This just depends on where you're at. So there it is. All right. So there it is. That's what we got to work with. It's higher than the other ones. So this is the extended height. 20 foot by 8 foot. It's a big place. Lots of stuff. There it is. So this is where the container is going to go. Right here. And the spiritual significance of this is so mind-destroying that you're going to have to see the whole testimony to be able to just wrap your brain around it. This house has 3 het symbols on it. The house, by the way, was given to me. It had to be that way. There's one het symbol. There's another het symbol. It's the number 8 in Hebrew. And there's the 3rd het symbol. You walk in this house, you don't go in the front door, you go to the right or you go to the left. The Lord told me to look up the meaning of the address. He said the number 8 and then the number 22. The number 8 means Jesus' salvation. The number 22 is the key of David. And the house that was given to me actually has my ministry written on the address. My ministry was to deliver the key of David and to show everybody the restored temple, which is the New Jerusalem, which is Revelation 3. So the house has 3 het symbols that are all in the same orientation as the crosses at Calvary. So the container will be picked up by a crane and lifted over the house and set down right back here where we are leveling for it. I'll probably let y'all listen to this testimony, but this is not the container testimony. This is just a little piece of what is going on. This is way bigger than me or any of us. The Lord said to help me out. Praise God, man. Getting it level so we can put the 4 cornerstones down, because it's going to be set on 4 solid rocks. And that's what was available. It's really odd that it turned out that way, because I was trying to put it on concrete. But what ended up happening is it's going on 4 solid rock cornerstones. Just like it said, Jesus is the rock, and upon this rock I will build my church. All right, so here we go. There's the structures. Here's going back to where that thing is being set down right here. And we got it level for the 4 cornerstones. There's Mr. Billy in the machine. And this is where it's gonna go. We cleared the whole canopy. All the trees that were growing over it so a crane can set it right down in here. There it is. So here come these 4 cornerstones that are being unloaded right now. There you go. And he's gonna bring them around and put them right back there. And so the church is going to be picked up and set back down on 4 cornerstones. And there it is. There's the first one. Stone number 2 that we had to push on using that machine onto that machine. And here we go. This is so unbelievably symbolic of the church being set down on 4 cornerstones. Unbelievable. Here comes the 3rd cornerstone. There it comes. And we've already got 2. There's Mr. Billy. Wave, Billy. And there he comes. Here's the arrival of the container. Getting set right there. So it can be picked up and set down. This is it. Amazing. It's going down right there. And it's just so wild. I'm actually putting a 20-foot container in the backyard. That's just fascinating. There it is. So everybody knows, yes, I've taken the step of faith. And I'm going to do exactly what I've been shown to do. That's There we go. There it is. All right. Woo-hoo. There's the container. Awesome. 9.6 high container. Isn't that perfect? So here we are, and Patrick over here, and he's installing the vinyl Revelation 3:10 on the side. And there it is. Looking good. So, I guess I'll do a commentary after all this, but yeah, it's just mind destroying. So that's reflective at night or what?
Yeah. Anything sun hit it.
So that's why it changed colors.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. Nice. All right, so yeah, I walked over to my mailbox and checked my mail, and we just finished putting all this on. Let me show you what came up. It says, expiration notice, your trial is ending. Trial's almost over, folks. God bless, man. There it is. Revelation 3:10. Because you've kept the patience of my word, I will keep you from the hour of testing. Amen. So, anyway, this is part of the container testimony, and we will add this to the other stuff. There it is. Okay, this is just another one of those so bizarre moments. It's 12:24 a.m. I'm up really late. I've just been compelled to draw out this floor plan right here for the house and adding a shipping container, which is what I heard the Lord tell me He wanted me to do, and to do it quickly. And I'm like, it's just so weird with everything that's going on with Trent and everything. It doesn't make any sense. The timing, you know, it's like I may have to protect Trent, and I don't really have the kind of finances you need to do all that. And I just finished drawing it out, and I hear the TV and watch what comes on. Just as crazy.
1-800-CLECK. Just give us a call and we'll deliver one of our bright and shiny moving containers right to your home or office. 1-800-CLECK. Just give us a call and we'll deliver one of our bright and shiny moving containers right to your home or office.
Okay, one more time. So while I'm drawing this container layout, and I've been praying, Lord, is this what you really wanted me to do or want me to do? Look what comes on as soon as I finish drawing it.
And we'll deliver one of our bright and shiny moving containers right to your home or office.
Here we go. Okay, so I backtracked and came back because I wanted to document what just happened. This is just mind-blowing. I was on the phone earlier with Kat, and I said the Lord told me He would confirm right now that He wants me to put a shipping container, you know, in my backyard and convert it to a living situation. And I'm like, all right, okay. I'm having to pull over. I was just talking to Michael Zedek about, you know, I was asking the Lord to give me the confidence I need to put this shipping container on our property, you know, and to do what He wants me to do. And it's really hard because I'm like taking such a, you know, it's such a big step. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted and everything from all the work I've already done. So anyway, I was talking to Michael, and I told Michael, well, I got to run in the bank first. I'm going to look at these concrete blocks before he and I could continue our conversation. This is unbelievable what just happened. This is the way the Lord does things. I'm out in a place called Schertz, Texas, because they have big concrete blocks, and I need these concrete blocks to set the shipping container on as a base. So the point is, this is a city outside of San Antonio. This is not somewhere I go to. I have never, ever been to this branch of this bank. My bank in San Antonio is closed for the Battle of Flowers parade. So, you know, I thought, well, I'm out here in Schertz, Texas, and I saw, you know, a Frost Bank. So now I'm gonna do a little video to show you the way that happened and what happened right after I went through the bank drive-thru. So here I am at the bank. There's the drive-thru I just went through. So I'm gonna go through here and exit the same way I exited. And so I'm looking for this place called Keller Materials. Well, normally I should go over there and get on the access road and head that way because that's the way I know to go. But I took a right instead. And so I took a right and I'm driving down this country road and look right here to my left. I look over and like, oh my gosh, it's a company that sells mobile minis and like job site stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, that's weird. And I look over, they sell shipping containers. Look at that. I just pulled in and there it is. There's proof. If that's not a tell you what to do right there, I don't know what is. That's wild. So I just went to the bank, and the turn I made had me turn right to a shipping container place. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Wow. Okay, this is mind-boggling. I just did the $100 bill video, and I decided to look up to buy a shipping container. Here's my search. I clicked on this 10 things you need to know before you buy a shipping container, and look what it brought up. Look at that picture. I just did the $100 bill video. That's insane. And look what's on the side of the shipping container. That is absolutely insane. How am I gonna get that thing down the street? And then check that out. Look what came down my street. What are the odds? Right in front of my house. I was like, how am I gonna get that thing in the backyard? Lord, show me what to do. What are the odds? I just got off the phone with Kat saying, Kat, I think I'm gonna need a crane to lift it up and set it down, and look what drove in front of my house. Yeah. What are the odds? There's my house. Look what's right next to my house. Can you imagine the look on my face when I had just gone in to take my cat, and I walked in, they took my cat to the back, they dipped him, they handed him right back to me, and I drove right back home. So it was like 15 minutes since I had talked to my friend Kat Young, and I pulled down my street and there's that giant crane on my street. I mean, can you imagine that? I just told her, no, I'm sure the Lord's gonna make me use a crane. I said these words to her pretty much exactly. I said, you know, Kat, I don't think that the Lord's gonna let me be able to get this shipping container in the backyard by just backing a trailer up there and dropping it. I said, the way the Lord does things, I'm pretty positive he's gonna make me use a crane, because it's a manifestation of what he's gonna do with the church. Those that are on the rock that are going to be shipped out, he's going to pick them up and then set them back down. And I said, that's what a crane does. A crane like picks something up and then it sets it down. I saw the New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven adorned as a bride. He's gonna pick it up and then move it and set it back down. And that shipping container is getting set down on solid rock. Not on a concrete form, on 4 solid rock blocks. And that's part of the miracle too. It's just one miracle after another concerning the shipping container, and that's the way he revealed to me, yes, the bride, the ones that were on the rock, those are the ones that are leaving, and they'll be picked up and set back down. Here's the container, and there it is. That's what we got to work with. So this is where the container is going to go. And the spiritual significance of this is so mind-destroying. This house has 3 hex symbols on it. And the house, by the way, was given to me. It had to be that way. There's one hex symbol. There's another hex symbol. It's the number 8 in Hebrew. And there's the 3rd hex symbol. You walk in this house, you don't go in the front door, you go to the right or you go to the left. The Lord told me to look up the meaning of the address. He said the number 8 and then the number 22. The number 8 means Jesus' salvation. The number 22 is the key of David. And the house that was given to me, my ministry was to deliver the key of David and to show everybody the restored temple, which is the New Jerusalem, which is Revelation 3. Getting it up so we can put the 4 cornerstones down, because it's going to be set on 4 solid rocks. It's really odd that it turned out that way, because I was trying to put it on concrete. But what ended up happening is it's going on 4 solid rock cornerstones. Just like it said, Jesus is the rock, and upon this rock I will build my church. There's the first one. We cleared the whole canopy. All the trees that were growing over it so a crane can set it right down in here. And we've already got 2. There's Mr. Billy. And this is where it's gonna go. This is what I was supposed to do, to augment the locusts that were already on the artwork. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's going through my head as I do this. It's just unreal. It's so surreal. So this is just one of those timing things. So I'm out there working on those locusts. I've been making those videos. So Clay's got a movie going on in here. I saw it earlier. Heaven Almighty, but I've never seen this scene where the dam breaks or anything. I just decided to take a break and come scrape all these tags off these things because I don't want to mess up my grinder pads and get them all gooey. Don't forget, I'm working on these locusts to put them on the sculpture for the birthing event, which is, you know, a new race of beings being birthed. And this is what's on. So look at this, look what's happening. So here it comes. The dam's breaking.
Oh my God, this is happening. This is really happening.
Oh.
Get everyone on the ark now! Get on the ark now! Let's go! Get on the ark! Let's go! Go!
We're editing the Hoover Dam into these last couple commercials. And look what just came on. I've never seen that scene. Again, the timing of this is insane. This is absolutely the Lord getting me ready. So now I'm still sitting here watching it. And you know, I was told to put the container in the backyard with a crane. It's kind of like the Church of Philadelphia that gets picked up and set back down the New Jerusalem. And check this out, look what comes on now. This is just crazy what's in the scene. Look what's right in front. That's crazy. That's just like the crane that's coming to set the container down. Look at that. That's crazy. It's unbelievable. So I'm sure this is probably just a big coincidence. As I work on my table here and I get them done, I put the magnets on them so they can, you know, to make sure they'll stay up on a vertical surface and they won't fall off. So I put them over here to test them. And then I just realized they're all coming out of a barbecue pit. It's probably just coincidence. Look, locusts coming out of the pit. My brain is shot, man. My whole just mind is just. Here's the arrival of the container. There it is. All right. Woo-hoo. Right container. Isn't that perfect? Got Patrick over here, and he's installing the vinyl, Revelation 3:10 on the side. Right, so yeah, I walked over to my mailbox and checked my mail, and we just finished putting all this on. Let me show you what came up. It says, expiration notice, your trial is ending. Here it is, Revelation 3:10. Because you've kept the patience of my word, I will keep you from the hour of testing. Amen. So, the Bible says that faith without works is dead. What that means is you don't try and work your way into the kingdom, but to show your faith, sometimes God requires you to step out and He'll show you what He wants you to do. In this case, He told me, I want you to get a shipping container, put Revelation 3:10 on it. I want you to lift it up and set it in the backyard, and that's a representation of Revelation 3:10, the New Jerusalem being picked up and set back down, the bride of Christ. And so this is my work of faith that the Lord told me to do, and here we go. This is it. So this is an interesting little thing that just happened. There was a wasp nest on top of the container in one of those holes. And so I just went and killed him, and I came over and we were talking about it, and he said, you know, I was on this other job and there's a whole tree and it was hollow, and he said we were starting to take the tree down and all these things just came out and the sky turned black. It's like, okay. Does that sound familiar? The guy up there with his back to us, that's Jose. He's the one that told me, yeah, this job that they were taking this tree down, and he said the entire sky turned black. I mean, what are the odds of that? Anyway, just wanted to document.
Revelation 3. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, the words of the Holy One, the true One, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one opens. I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Behold, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold, I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. Because you have kept my word about patient endurance, I will keep you from the hour of trial that is coming on the whole world, to try those who dwell on the earth. I am coming soon. Hold fast what you have, so that no one may seize your crown. The one who conquers, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. Never shall he go out of it. And I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which comes down from my God out of heaven, and my own new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house. But it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat against that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowds were astonished at his teaching. For he was teaching them as one who had authority, and not as their scribes.
So here we go. The letter Shin. This is what I was told to do. It's time to put the letter Shin on the container doors. Right down there. The container is ready to be moved. So I'm going to put the letter Shin on the bottom, right behind me on those bottom quadrants right there. And I'll take a picture of it when I do it. There's one Shin symbol on one door. Revelation 3:10. I've never done vinyl before. It's kind of tricky. There it is. There's one. Getting ready for door number 2. Number 1 on Revelation 3:10. One of the doors. Done. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm sitting here and it's so bizarre because the owner of the shop, he gave me his stuff to go attach it with. It says Rapid and it has a lightning bolt on it. I find that kind of weird. For as lightning shineth from the east unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And there is the Shin symbol on both doors. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is. And I've done what he said. I listened and I followed my instructions. So there is the shipping container. The two upright shins on it, which represents the flame, the Rauk Elohim. And there it is. There it is. The Spirit of God. The Shin symbol, which is written on the heart of Jerusalem. Wow. Revelation 3:10. Because you've kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from the hour of testing, which will come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. There it is. Okay, so the container has been detached. It is ready for transport. Praise God. I find it fascinating that the way it turned out is it's leaving on, you know, what people call Good Friday, the Passover. You know, this is a representation of the bride of Christ. That's why it has Revelation 3:10 written on it. I'll keep you from the hour of testing. I'll give you the name of my God and the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem. That's Revelation 3, the letter to the angel of the church of Philadelphia. You know, Jesus, he ascended. Well, let me change that. He died on the Passover as our Passover sacrifice. He was the fulfillment of the scriptures, just like in Exodus when they left Egypt. And that was the way we escape the judgment of our sins, is that Jesus died as the lamb that was without spot or blemish on our behalf, and he came into this system called the flesh. And he took on the sins of the world, and he took on our duplicitous nature, good and evil, right side up, upside down, light and dark. And that's what he let me share with the world, you know, the gospel. If you believe on the name Jesus Christ and you confess with your mouth that he's your Lord and Savior, and you believe that he was raised from the dead through faith by grace, you will be saved. But the way that you know is you turn the whole world upside down. That's why when you take an image of the Virgin and you turn it upside down, it becomes a dead sheep, because that's the truth. If you want to see the truth, you have to turn everything upside down. So the container's been made ready for transport. And here is the Word of God. It says, Mike, here's the antique Bible with the stand. And it's been prepared, and all the stuff that goes with the container has been prepared. I'm getting ready to shut the doors. I'm taking the deck off the top. It's ready to leave. It's been well prepared to go. Just going to anchor everything down and off it goes. There's all the work that's gone into this thing. The stairs have been disconnected. It's been unbolted. And this right here says Revelation 3:10. And there's the shin symbol on one door, and there's one on the other door. I will keep you from the hour of testing, because you have not denied my name. And you have endured till the end. Praise God. Alright guys, well, you know, happy Passover. And I hope everybody has a safe weekend. The doors have been shut. I did what I was told. This is my work of faith. A lot of people, you know, a lot of people may think, oh my gosh, that's crazy, or, you know, how weird. I would have thought that before too, I'll be honest. I would have thought the same thing. But now I've had the experience of the Lord's let me lay hands on people that were completely blind in one eye, and they were healed within 15 to 20 minutes of complete blindness in one eye. He's let me lay hands on people that had other incurable eye problems, and they were healed. And the container has been made ready. You know, I'm not sure what's going to happen from this point. Oddly enough, this container is going to the corner of Rainbow Drive and Casimir, and the word Casimir means... I just wanted to document one more thing that's very odd, you know. So I document it. I got a bell today that showed up from, you know, one of the subscribers, and look, the little clanger was detached from the bell. So you can shake the bell and it doesn't ring. It doesn't ring because the clangor is detached from it. Y'all believe that's prophetic? I do. I think my days of ringing the bell have come to an end. And if people know, that's what my name means. Jonathan Kleck translates as Yahweh has given. That's what Jonathan means. And Kleck means a town crier that used a handbell to draw attention for the king, going through the city saying, "Hear ye, hear ye." And I've been, you know, the Bible says, "I have surnamed you. I have called you by your name." You know, he called me in 2002 as Yahweh has given a messenger that rings the bell and gathers the church. That would be the church right behind me, the Church of Philadelphia. I believe those days have come to an end. All right, so good morning. It's the Passover today, and we're preparing the container for liftoff. I mean, it's getting ready to get picked up and taken out, and it's going to Grand Junction on the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. The word Casimir means proclamation of peace. So how odd that this container that was prepared to represent the bride of Christ is going to the corner of Rainbow and proclamation of peace. That's the Lord's doing, guys. You should be able to see that clear as day. No one could arrange that. There's no way. The giant shin symbol in the front yard of that house. I'm getting ready to tie down all the stuff on the inside, and it's getting ready to ship. So now the door's been open, and I'm gonna open this up. There we go. And we're gonna go in there. There's the Bible. Sorry, the door got out. There's the Bible and everything that goes with it. By the way, that table right there, it's got the Lord's Prayer on it in Hebrew. It lights up, and there's lights that literally turn the Lord's Prayer to a rainbow. It is just fascinating, unbelievably mind-blowing, the detail that's in here. There's a Statue of Liberty being destroyed by a tidal wave and fire. And it says Jeremiah 51:42. Okay, so the container is, the stuff in the container is been secured down. And there's the Bible that goes with it. Table with the Lord's Prayer on it. 2 mirrors, dining room set. I went to get some glasses because I got to cut off the awning. It's funny that the available safety glasses, these are mock-ups that we're going to use for a new round, but there you go. There you go. 5 and 5. What are the odds? All right, well, let's get this done. I got to go cut the awning off. Here we go. So here's the awning that's going to get cut off, and there's the back door. That's the emergency exit. There's the emergency exit that's held on with magnets, and there's a door behind it. Oddly enough, if y'all have ever watched the vids, you know that the electrician actually put the exit sign upside down. And after he did it, he's like, "Oh man, I put it upside down," and I just laughed and said, "Leave it." What are the odds? Here we go. So there's the metal door that came off, exposing the emergency exit, and the awning that's coming off. It's kind of so prophetic, the whole thing. It's just unbelievable. What's interesting is it's done in metallic epoxy, so you can see the reflection in the door of everything. Oh, just so fascinating. So there it goes. That awning's coming off right now. You know, oddly enough, I just realized, it's so crazy. This particular glasses these are safety glasses that we were trying to do a deal with a place called Gateway Safety. Gateway safety. I'll show you a picture from the show notes that's for gateway safety glasses. I'll pop that into this vid. It'll be at the slideshow at the end. You'll see it. It says gateway safety. It's a skydiving photo. Okay. So there it is. There's the crane. It is showing up. Check it out. That's a big crane. Lever. Cool. There they come. There it comes. Okay, the doors are getting shut. I'm gonna shut the doors to the container now. And here we go. And there we go. Sorry about all that camera work right there. I'm doing it by myself. Doors have been shut and the doors have been locked. Guys, I just think it's all so prophetic that I got a handbell yesterday that I forgot to open for a few days, and there it is without a clanger on it. The clanger came off and the doors are shut and locked. All glory to God, man. God have mercy on this world. Okay, so there it is. There's the crane behind me. We've gotten the awning off the back, and the crane is getting ready to swing its boom over here and lift this thing out of here. It's just amazing. It's so wild. All right, guys, well, there it is. There's a, we've come full circle. I came inside because I got to go out front and meet the crane guys. And look, I had to change all the water to get the dead flowers out of the vase, and look at the whole house because of the vases. What are the odds? It's just so crazy. It looks like stars everywhere, all over the place, because the sunlight's reflecting off the vases right there that I was dumping the water out of last night. So here we go. Pretty wild, pretty cool. Crane's out front, gotta go. We got the bands on. The guy said, I gotta go get bigger shackles. And he's gonna put shackles on there. And we're gonna get this thing out of here. And we're gonna bring the new one in. What's interesting is, these poles have to be opened up. Shackles too, kind of like a slave collar, are gonna open up to let, these are 6x6s over there. And then we'll put on those shackles, we'll put the rope and then open this whole thing up and drop the new one in. That's young Brandon over there. And there it is, it's ready to go. Now there is the empty container with double doors on both sides arriving. This is what I was told to do, folks. Put this one in the other one's place. It's funny, that one's got the number 9 on it. Interesting. There's the replacement, and then we're getting ready to pull out the other one. Got the boom out over it, ready to go. It's getting good. All right, with a crane that says Lieber. Lieber means free in German. Lieberman, free man. All right, there it is. We're ready to go. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's going up. There's a crane. All right, we're getting ready to pull it. There it is. Looking good on Passover. Do it, go up, see, make sure nothing's attached. So here we go. Here it comes. The one that's got double doors on both ends. I think it's very prophetic. The passage is about to occur. It's container number 9. Here we go, and that one's ready to go. That one's gonna get dropped, and then that one's gonna set down and go to the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, which means proclamation of peace. There you go. There it goes. We have liftoff, and it's looking real good so far. It's off the ground. Nothing's attached. Nothing's catching. I'm gonna go over here and give him a little extra room. We have liftoff. We have liftoff. There it goes. He's easing it on out. There it is. It has been removed from its spot. Now you can see the building in between. It's getting ready to go. Trying to hold these ropes at the same time. A little bit tricky to get all this on video. But there it goes. It goes. It's been done. There's the back door. Revelation 3:10 on it, just like I was supposed to do. And it's going to the corner of Rainbow and Casimir Drive. And Casimir means covenant of peace or proclamation of peace. There's where it was. Picked it up. And there it goes. There it goes over the house. I'm going to go over there now. Sorry about that camera work right there, looking at the ground. There it is. Looking good. Really? That's interesting. So there it goes. There's the old one. There's the one that's finished. On its way to, again, Rainbow and Casimir Drive in Grand Junction, Colorado. Super cool. And that's about to get loaded on its flatbed and off it goes. Awesome. There's the next one going on. That one's going off. All right. Bobby's got it ready to go. Brandon's here. There's the other one. One's leaving. One's coming in. Woo! That is just amazing. What a day. Number 9 on the container. It's about ready to go in. It's got doors on both sides. There it is. There it goes. So here it comes. And we're bringing the number 9 cube down into place. This has been one heck of a deal. Wow. You can see it all lit up. If you call my phone number, what I'll do is I'll send you some pics of it so you can see what it looked like. All lit up. That young Brandon helped a lot. Fernando. The next one's in. Number 9. Wow. 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 One leaves and another one takes its place, and the cycle continues. absolutely mind-blowing. What's really fascinating that this is a totally different crane than the last time. It's just mind-blowing. Liber means free. Lieberman means free men. Container number 9. The one that left was 5. It's just so wild. So there it is. There's the crane taking in his boom. There's the crane taking in its boom. And the next one's down. Spinning around. We've done the full circle, folks. I think we're close. Okay, so there's a new one, and it's got double doors on both sides. It's got 2 double doors there, and you can tell the old one's gone. This one's been set down. It's number 9. 6 and 9 again. It's time to do it again. Wow. Perfectly level. Perfectly level. There's a level on it right there. Amazing. Oh, glory to God. So tired. so we're setting up the base to receive the container which represents the New Jerusalem. I told everybody that. The other day I got a very strange package in the mail, timing-wise. I don't mean the package was strange, just the timing was impossible. I was getting ready to leave and come here to Grand Junction to oversee the dropping of the box, which represents the New Jerusalem. There goes the FedEx truck right there, driving off. Let me show you what the FedEx truck is dropping off that got sent from San Antonio. So there's Mr. Mike.
Howdy, howdy.
So let me show everybody what just showed up. It says Jerusalem, and it's got in the corners 4 exact squares. If you look at the crosses, they're in the square shape. And then I want you to look at what's going on here, because we're getting this set up. This is the only one that hasn't been taped off yet in order to set that box down that represents the New Jerusalem.
Amen.
And it's coming today, and we're getting ready to set it down and then build the stairs for it. So unbelievable stuff. So we'll photograph that and edit it in. Okay, so I'm just recording this. I put that medallion it's actually from Jerusalem, and I'll put the little letter that came in with it. It's really strange. The Lord told me to bring it from San Antonio and bring it here, but I forgot to bring it. So I had a friend of mine just send it to me, and it just showed up. But here's what's so strange. It had to happen this way because we're laying out the stones, and in order to lay out the stones, this is the way I did the last container. I put this blue tape on them. So the blue tape shows us exactly where the corner of the container is supposed to go. So an X goes in each corner. So here we go. So now we got those two done. Hey, back up just a little bit, Chief. And then that one's done. And now this one's done. Let me show you something very odd about this metal. You see the 4 corners? Let's orientate it like this, kind of like the container. There's 4 perfect cubes in the corner, just like the container. Look at that. That is just insane. It's unbelievable. But that is actually from Jerusalem, and it's from a woman that sent it. And she said a friend of hers would go around the world with a choir as a choir director, and it's from Jerusalem. And I told you what this container represents, the New Jerusalem. Okay, so here I am in Grand Junction. There's the mountains behind me. And we're getting ready to have the box arrive, the container, which represents, I told y'all a long time ago, the New Jerusalem, the bride of Christ. What's so crazy, guys, is it's at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. And I showed y'all Isaiah 54 and also the meaning of one. Shema, O Israel, for the Lord your God is one. Let me show you something that's just mind-blowing. So there's Michael getting the thing. What's really mind-boggling is look at all these little rocks. You know, think about it. Matthew 16 said he told Simon Barjona, I will name you Petros, which means little rock. Let me show you something. All those are little rocks. All these are little rocks everywhere. Look at the front yard. There's a giant shin symbol and a hoopah. I mean, this is just absolutely unbelievable. I want you to look at the layout for the rock. Look over there on that rock is that little medallion that was sent. And I don't want to give names out, but it was sent by a lady who had a friend that was in a choir, as a choir director, and they went all over the world. And they went to Jerusalem, and she picked up that medallion that says Jerusalem. And what's so crazy is in the 4 corners of that medallion, it makes 4 crosses that are identical to what we're doing here. And guys, this is just so bizarre. I heard the Lord tell me, I want you to take that with you, and I forgot it. And I was like, oh no. So I called a friend of mine and I said, would you send me that medallion? And she FedExed it, and it just arrived while we're doing it. And it's identical to what we're doing here. It's literally identical. Let me show you something else. So there's the front. And how you doing? And there's the shin symbol, and Michael's got his thing in the front. And so here's the setup when it's going to be facing the mountains over there. And then look right there, it's at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. And Casimir means proclamation of peace. And for those of y'all that don't know the meaning of New Jerusalem, it means the new city of peace, because Jesus is our peace. He himself is our peace that has made both one, because he broke down the middle wall of partition between us and made one new man from the two. And this is that representation, this work of faith. So now we've got the box set up. We have the crane on the way. The box will be here in an hour. The container, I should say. The container will be here in an hour. And we're going to set it down right there on that site behind me. And it's going to be looking at the mountains and the hills right in the background. Absolutely unbelievable. And Mike started doing this wedding hoopah before I ever asked, hey, can I send this container up there? And this street literally is at the end of the street Rainbow. You can't even think this stuff up. It's like, and y'all would not believe the bizarre occurrences that have already happened here in Grand Junction. Even at breakfast, it was so bizarre. Anyway, I'll keep a record.
Go in the bay.
So, here's what's fascinating. This is where the street Rainbow literally ends. It's the end of Rainbow, and it intersects Casimir, which is, again, means proclamation of peace. Like, read Isaiah 54, verse 10, 11, and 12. It will blow your mind. And it's, 154. The Lord said, look up the meaning of one. If you look up the meaning of one in the Bible, it's a number that stands alone, and it's all inclusive as well. And it includes every other number. And it's like Shema, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. And the number 54 went right to Isaiah 54. And it had to do with the covenant God made with Noah, as well as the covenant I'm making with you of everlasting peace. So, and here we are doing our work of faith. Okay, so there's Mike's front yard. And there's his little hoopah he's got built. I'm gonna approach it. It's got the shin symbol. There's the hoopah, and then through that gate, that's where the container's gonna sit. It's gonna face that way, the mountain's over that way. And then we're gonna come back and do this again tonight, and we'll get some light to it. Should be amazing. Okay, so this is container drop day. What a work of faith. I mean, but all along the way the Lord proves it is just unbelievable. And so it, I could go into all these stories that have already happened, but all supernatural. Mike got to see it, and he sees it all the time anyway, but today at even breakfast, it was so bizarre. And there's Mike in between the hoopah, and he's got his
So this is the oil lamp that Abba told me to get, and he told me to drill a hole in the bottom so it cannot hold any oil. The 5 unwise virgins.
Okay, hang on one sec.
Okay.
So we're doing short little video bursts so we can stitch them together for you guys.
Show that again, or no?
No, we got that. And so one side's got an empty lamp, and then the other side's got a lamp that's got oil in it, and we're gonna light that up tonight. And so there we are. And right through that gate behind us is where the container's going. And here's the het symbol, just like the house. And he's got it painted. And what's really crazy is when he went to get the paint, the Lord said you'd know which one to pick. And what was
I know it by its name.
And it was the first one you picked
First
up?
one I grabbed, and it was Rapture Red.
So the very first paint sample he picked up was Rapture Red. So, the Lord always lets you know.
And I was stressing out.
And he was stressing out because he knew he had to go in there, and he's like, oh my didn't pick the right paint.
There were so many paint, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to look at every single one.
And the first one he picked was Rapture Red. That was the first sample?
Yep, first one.
Very first sample. And that's what's on the head symbol behind us. So, you know, you can try and say, oh, you know, that's a coincidence, but that just means you don't see God's orchestration when he's doing it. If he tells you to do something and you act on it, and then the first paint sample you pick up is Rapture Red, and you're building a hoopah in the same place that a guy's sending a shipping container that represents the bride, which is the rapture that's saved from the hour of testing. That's like 1 in 100 gazillion, because whatever the number is. It's just not possible. Here we go. We got the crane. Mind if I put you in? There's Joe. All right. Joe's got the crane. Okay, this is a good one. Joe, John, Justin, and Jason. And Joe is the guy bringing the truck. And we're getting ready to drop it, and we're ready to go. And there's Mike working. And there it comes, all the way from the backyard in San Antonio. Here we are, set up. There you go. Joe, Johnny, Justin, Jason, and Joe. And there it comes. And so, again, at the corner of Rainbow and Covenant of Peace. And that's where it's going. And there it is. Revelation 3:10. And look at this rainbow. It's a dead end. We've come to the end of the rainbow. There's Michael. And here's the crane. You're right. There's Joey. And there's Michael. There's the crane. There's where it's going. A lot of crane. That is pretty big. Pretty amazing. All right.
110 ton?
No, 40 tons.
Is that all?
Yeah. 40. Starting to rain. So here we go, guys. Okay, so we're getting it up. Hey, we could charge you for the ride. Oh yeah. You want me to get that ladder for you? Or do you want me to videotape? You pick. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, Brielle. Just to get, once you get it over with, we'll, look, you know, we'll get it down about right here, and then, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. go. Here we go. Got it. No lights coming on. No. We're good. We're looking good. No lights. Gonna pick it up over that. And we're looking at, look how prophetic that is. The end of Rainbow Drive. The Connex box that has the Lord's Prayer that lights up in a rainbow. It says Revelation 3:10. At the corner of Rainbow and Covenant of Peace, where in the front yard there's a shin symbol. And there's 2 double shins on that box. Absolutely unbelievable. Here we go. So there it is. Wow. On its new spot. Look at the 4 corners. Just like that medallion. Crazy. And there's the front yard. Justin, let me get that in the vid. And there's the sin symbols on the door. Being disconnected, set down right on its spot. And by the way, that spot is identical to the medallion that came in the mail. Identical, the New Jerusalem. That's insane. I mean, I just gotta say this. Totally insane. Unbelievable. New perfect foundation, New Jerusalem, and the bride of Christ, the shin symbol. There it is, and my job is finished. Praise God. Okay, so we're getting the container ready here in Grand Junction at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, Proclamation of Peace, and some kind of strange things happened during transport. One of the mirrors fell, and there's a weld behind that mirror that holds a bracket, and the bracket got pulled off the weld on the back of the container. This mirror got damaged. It's got damage all over it. Well, not all over it, but in some places. And I was like, oh, bummer. But I heard the Lord tell me, no, remove the mirror. Look at the exit sign. The exit sign above me is upside down. When the electrician put it on, he's like, oh my gosh, I put it on upside down. And he was kind of freaked out, and I said, don't worry about it, just leave it. Okay, so those of us that had the key of David, we know you turn everything upside down. If you want to know the truth, you have to see Jesus. You want to see the truth, you have to turn everything upside down, because here in Satan's world, those who try and hide their plans, they turn everything upside down. So then you know they're here, you know who's running the show. So anyway, so it's very prophetic that this mirror, look, there's 2 mirrors behind me. There's one there and there's one there. And it had this dualistic thing in it. But now one of the mirrors is coming out. Well, the only way to get saved really is to go through your own reflection. I mean, because there's a good you and there's a bad you. There's a right side up you and an upside down you. So here's a just bizarre story. When I used to skydive, sometimes I'd jump out at 15,000 feet over a big cumulus nimbus cloud that looked like a mountain. And what I would do is I'd get the sun to my back, and I would go away from the cloud, and then I'd do a 180 turn towards the cloud, and there would be a perfect circular rainbow, a perfect circle. And the closer I got to that cloud, I would see my own reflection in the center of the rainbow, and the rainbow would tighten up, tighten up, tighten up, until I was like literally flew into my own reflection. And that's right when I punched the cloud. It's just mind-boggling. We're here at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, and we're getting ready to take down this one mirror. And the way you escape this place is you get your own evil reflection reconciled. Okay, so now what we got to do is we're going to take this thing down, and it's all jacked up, and the exit sign's up there. But when we take this thing down, what's going to happen is it's going to expose the exit door. Now, guys, here's the thing. I prophesied a long time ago in my house, and part of that prophetic utterance was, you know, only those who have been made whole may enter through the narrow gate. For narrow is the gate and hard is the way that leads to life. Two may not walk abreast, only one that has been made whole through the blood of Christ. And so there's a good you and there's a bad you, there's a double you. So the door that's behind me, you couldn't walk two people side by side through that door that's behind this mirror. And we're getting ready to expose that door. So we're going to open it up.
Howdy,
Hi, Mike. Okay, so here we go. There's the Statue of Liberty being destroyed by nukes and water. Jeremiah 51:42. The waves have come up over Babylon. She is utterly consumed by fire. There's the fire. Now, by a strange set of events on the transport, that whole mirror system had to come out because the welds were broken. And the welds were right there. And then that's what was holding it in place up there. So it's gone. And so now this whole exit door is exposed. Look how narrow that little door is. Look how, that's a 24-inch door. It's extremely, extremely narrow. Look at this. There's no doorknob. There's only a key that's been left in place and left there for an emergency exit. That's why that key was taped on. I just untaped it right in front of you. That's the only key to get out of here. There's no doorknob. So anyway, that's it. And we're going to have to figure this thing out and get it ready for whatever it needs to be done with. Okay, wow. What a great family, the Spear family. Awesome family. They're not, I don't want them to hear me. Shh. Anyway, yeah. So we're here at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir Drive. Let's see if I can do that behind me, or we'll get that in again. I'm here at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, and we have gotten the container set in, installed, and what I was told to do is to deliver this, and what's really being delivered here is the Word, and the Word is over on that table with the name Yahweh written on it, right side up as well as upside down. And this is the completion of what I was told to do. Right there you can see Rainbow and Casimir. And then it looks out towards the mountains and the hills. And so now we've got it set down on these 4 perfectly measured concrete blocks. And everything's been installed. And what happened is during transport, one of the doors one of the mirrors got damaged, and the Lord let me know it's supposed to be that way. I want it out because now the escape hatch is ready. I mean, it's just so impossible, guys. It's just so weird that other mirror, there's one just like that was there. The weld broke and the bracket broke, and we had to take it down. And now the door is accessible, and it's a very small door. And that's the emergency exit door. And if you look above it, you'll see that the exit sign is upside down, which was actually a mistake the electrician made, but he freaked out. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I did it upside down, and I told him to leave it. And so we left it, and which is just perfect. That's God's perfection, because those that have the key of David know what I'm talking about. And so there's the Statue of Liberty being destroyed. Jeremiah 51. The waves have come up over Babylon, and then she is utterly consumed by fire. And there's fire on the wall. We just haven't lit it up in the colors. And so what's really fascinating is you see that we're at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir on that street sign right there. Rainbow and Casimir. And then the Word of God is on this table right here that lights up, and it literally turns into a rainbow, the lights that come through it make an actual rainbow. And as the light comes through it, and that's the Lord's Prayer that comes through. I mean, the light that comes through it is the Lord's Prayer, and you can see it. It's turning into a rainbow right now. So the colors change, and it just happened that way. It's just all so supernatural. There's just no way this could be. And the Lord told me, I want you to deliver the word. And so, well, you know what? Before I show you that, let me show you this. This is my original testimony that the Lord told me to keep a long time ago. How great the darkness, how bright the light. And the very first thing the Lord showed me was when you turn the image of the Virgin upside down, it's a dead sheep, and there's the tongue of the sheep, there's the eye, and the top of the head, and you can see the dead sheep. But that came from that image right there. That's a sheep right there. And that's the same sheep as that sheep right there. That's just in black and white, and I've drawn it in. But it's actually a dead sheep that's a rainbow, because the Virgin steals the light and converts it to energy and kills the sheep. And that's my original testimony right there. And so this is part of what got delivered here. And then there's the Word of God, which is right on top of the name Yahweh, and it's right side up. No matter which direction you're sitting at the table, you're going to see it right side up, upside down. And now the Word of God's been delivered. Now let me show you something else that was part of this. And when I got saved, there we go. Let me show you what the Bible says in Acts 26, when Paul was talking to Agrippa, and he said, at midday, O king, I saw in the way of a light from heaven, and the brightness of the sun shining round about me, and then the journey with me. And look what it says here. It says, and when we were all fallen to the earth. Guys, that is bigger than you think, because we all fell. When we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, saying, in Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou? And he said, I am Jesus, the one whom you persecute. But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared to you for this purpose, to make you a minister and a witness of both these things which thou hast seen, and of those things which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles to whom I now send you. Now look at what it says, to open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light. There's the sunglass company, vampire sunglasses. Come out of the darkness and into the light. And so this was all predestined. My logo is an upside down pyramid, and that's a bat, and a bat can see in the dark. And so anyway, so this has all been arranged. This whole thing. The sheep's a rainbow, and when you turn that dead sheep upside down, it's the Virgin, or the corner of the rainbow in Casimir. The Lord's Prayer, I had no idea this thing would show up here, comes through in a rainbow. The letters light up, or the characters in Hebrew light up in a rainbow. Babylon being destroyed. The Statue of Liberty, which represents the mother of exiles. And she's the above-ground host body system that gets the food for the race in the pit. Apollyon, the locust. And there's the fire on one wall. There's the tree of life on the opposing wall right there. The tree of life. And then over here is a portal. And that's the heartbeat of life. The spark of life. The QRST complex. If you're into, you know anything about cardiology. It's a little bit, I mean, it's close, but there it is. It's called the QRST complex. Anyway, so, and there's the porthole that the spark of life will be leaving here. The Spirit of the living God will be leaving here, going through the exit and returning home, because they partook of the tree of life, which is over on this side. And then over here, this is what's coming for the world. Babylon will be utterly destroyed. The waves have come up over Babylon, Jeremiah 51:42. Now remember, I had no idea that this thing would ever come up here. This thing was given away. I gave it to them. As a matter of fact, it took quite a bit to get this thing here. It took quite a bit to get this thing here. And it was unbelievable. And I'm looking at being evicted at this point from the house that has the Lord's name on it in San Antonio, and by my own family members. But the Bible says in the end, your worst enemies will be members of your own family. Your parents, relatives, and friends, your family, relatives, and friends will turn against you. And I'm experiencing that. I've been experiencing that for a long time, since I got saved. But I partook of the tree of life, Christ. And so we have this blessed hope inside of us that we get to go home. And this container represents the bride of Christ, the New Jerusalem. And we have one more thing to put up, and we're going to put it up. This was sent by a woman, and it was a miracle that it ended up here. It showed up at a time, the timing was just so impossible. And we're going to put up the last thing in here in just a little bit. And then I'm going to conclude this video, and the container has arrived at its location to fulfill the spiritual symbology and the spiritual, manifestation of what this whole ministry represented, was gathering the church and also the bride of Christ, and gathering the church and ringing the bell, letting people know the end has come. So that's what I did, and I did my best. Most of the time, I tried to do my best. All right. Johnny and Mike. It's really here. It's here. It's at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. Proclamation of Peace. And, Mike told me it was okay, yeah. And I'm going to say this publicly. It's not okay for people to come by and invite themselves over. Just like at my house, he's got a family, and, we can understand that people would want to say, oh, wow, God told me to come over, but that's not the way it works. That's why we're doing the video, sharing it with everybody, but this is their home. They have children, so respect that, because God would not send you over there to disrespect the family and say, oh, God sent me. Don't do that. Otherwise, it's obvious you weren't sent by the Lord. So, that being said, we all have to protect our loved ones. And so here's the thing. The address itself is just like my address is 8, which means the salvation of God, and then 22, the key of David. The Lord told me everything about my life is significant because I was predestined. His name happens to be Michael Spear, and the whole Spear thing is here now. And we're at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, and the number 1 and then the number 54. Biblically speaking, 1 is Shema, O Israel, for the Lord your God is one. And it's a number that stands all by itself, and it incorporates all other numbers. So the number 1 is hugely important in the Bible. And the number 54 also. Number 54 is Isaiah 54, and it's burst forth into singing, O barren woman. For the children of the desolate is more than the children of the married, the one with a husband, and that's the host body system. And so now the spiritual kingdom is about to be born again. The whole thing is about to be born. This represents the New Jerusalem. That's what this container represented. And now I'm going to kind of weave my way back. There's a tree of life behind me on this side. Everything represents life on this side. And behind me on the other side represents what's coming. There's a tidal wave coming over the Statue of Liberty. Again, I showed it to you once. There's the wall of flames. Jeremiah 51, 42. The waves have come up over Babylon, and she is utterly consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord who judges her. So now we're just kind of weaving back, and we've got the table with the Lord's Prayer on it, and now it's turning completely to a rainbow. You can see that it's starting to turn to a complete rainbow now. And then the Lord's name, Yahweh, and we have the Word of God on top right here. So what I'm really delivering is the Word. And so if you got saved, you were written in that book. That's what's so fascinating. Those that get saved, you were literally written in the book. It's just hard to imagine. It's hard to wrap your brain around all this. And so now I'm moving back to the emergency exit that just by God's providence is now accessible, the emergency exit. You couldn't walk two people side by side through this door because, look, I'll barely fit through the door just myself. But you could never walk two people. Like if you had your own evil twin, you couldn't go through that door. It's just unbelievably perfect. And now the Lord told me to put this right there above it that was sent, and it says Jerusalem, because those that go through the door, you are the New Jerusalem, the new city of peace. And you're all being built up as living stones. Each one of us, we became a living stone when the Spirit of the living God entered into us. When we were converted, we became part of the new Jerusalem, city of peace. So the container's been delivered. Unbelievable. Everything about this last 3-4 days has been so supernatural. Mike, would you like to comment on that?
It has been absolutely amazing, and there's just times where I'm just sitting down and I have to reflect on every little sequence because it's so unbelievable. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.
We get to see the perfection of the Lord orchestrating all this. And so it's time to go. And it's time for those that have been called. Whoever heard the call, if you heard the call, you know who you are. You were chosen to go. You didn't do it yourself. So don't give yourself any points for getting to go. And I suggest that everybody remain humble and pray that you're counted worthy to escape all the horrors that are coming on this earth. That's all. And pray for your loved ones, even those that have turned against you. You know, I mean, I love my brother and my sister, but they've never really even liked me. So I still love them and care about them. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. And, you know, and they want my house. They want the house that, you know, I built, I fixed up, I lived in, and that was bought with money that was stolen from me. But they believe because, you know, my dad gave it to them on a piece of paper called a will, that they have some legal right to it. And they do have some legal right, but they have no moral high ground whatsoever. And so that's really what's going on here on the whole planet. You put yourself under the law. And if you're under the law, you're under the law. I've been set free of the law. So all of us that have been called, we've had our shackles taken off. We're no longer under the law. We're not part of their system anymore. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do a slideshow. Pay close attention to the biblical numbers, because every number that's in this slideshow that comes up, is it crazy?
It's unbelievable.
It's absolutely insane. I'm talking everything is unbelievably insane. And anyway, even the address of where I stayed and how I ended up staying there. And you'll see a little thing where Siri said, "You have arrived at your destination." Y'all remember that the Vatican in the Sistine Chapel, the whole thing's the face of the dragon? Well, and there's an archway that's the nose of the dragon, and then Lucifer's coming through the archway with the woman. Yeah. Oh, just watch the little video where Siri tells me you've arrived at your destination. It's crazy. Okay, well, peace and grace, and I hope everybody is ready, and I hope I'm ready. God bless. Hey guys, so here we go. This is it. I mean, this is my work of faith. I mean, the Lord showed me the U.S. currency, New York being destroyed. He told me to put Jeremiah 51:42. And there is a tidal wave destroying New York, the Statue of Liberty, the mother of exiles. And then there is the wall of fire in the back. And the Bible says the waves have come up over Babylon, and she is utterly destroyed by fire, for mighty is the Lord who judges her. And so the whole system, Mystery Babylon, that's what the Lord let me resolve for y'all. The mystery of iniquity that worketh. And that is that other spirit that's running the show until you get converted. And it's being run from a group that's in the pit. And there you go. And that's what's about to happen. You're looking at a perfect representation of what's going to happen, and it's printed on the U.S. currency. Back here is the wall of fire. She is utterly consumed by fire. And so when I get over here, there is the wall of fire that goes with that tidal wave. Now here's the table is set, and this is the glasses he told me to get, and I'll show you these. It has the shin symbol, and then it has the V with the fangs, because the V with the fangs is what got reconciled by the Lord God in his sacrifice on the cross for all of us. And then there's the dining room table right there. Absolutely mind-boggling. And then again, the lights that come through here, they make a rainbow. I'm going to back out and then show you the rainbow. That's the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father, which is what I prayed the night I got saved. And then I'm going to change the lighting to the other side of the container so you can see that wall and what's on it. Now the exit door has been exposed. Again, the exit is upside down. That was a mistake made by the electrician. It wasn't a mistake because the Lord knew he would do it. I told him just to leave it. It's perfect. And there is the dining room table. And the Lord told me, I want you to make the infinity symbol starting in the middle and then going out. And it's a magnetic field. The whole thing becomes a magnetic field because we are in a magnetic prison. So there's that. Okay, so anyway, again, there is the table, and you can see the reflection of the Lord's Prayer in all the chairs. So all the people that have been invited to this wedding supper, there's a reflection of the Lord's Prayer in them, in the guests, because they've received Christ. So there is the table, and there is the portal. It represents the escape, and it's the heartbeat of life going through the middle. There it is, it's alright. So there's the heartbeat going through the middle, through the portal, and then again, here's the table set, and with all the 4 glasses. And then over here is the tree of life, and you can see the heartbeat. I mean, it looks like just energy coursing through the limbs. If you watch it, it literally looks like it's alive. And so this is what the Lord told me to do. This is what my work of faith was for him. And this container represents the New Jerusalem, which has been reconciled back to him, the new temple of God. And he says, and I will dwell with them, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. And so, and we just started our fire, and we're looking out over the mountains, and this has come to completion, my work of faith. And I will continue to do videos or whatever he tells me to do until the time is done and time is fulfilled, which I expect to be any moment. I don't imagine it, you know, I never put an hour or a day on it, but if you're not ready, then you're just not ready. You should be able to recognize the time has come and that the bride has been called. There it is. All glory to God. Okay, I'm just documenting that Siri is telling me 302 Grand Junction Avenue, which is the address for that's on the website for the virtual tour of the Melrose Hotel. I'm just documenting it. It's the strangest thing. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to take a left, and then it says 302 Colorado Avenue. And so I'm going to go do what Siri says, but what she tells me is not accurate what's on the...
Turn left onto Colorado Avenue. Then the destination is on your right. Feet, the destination is on your right.
Okay, it says
302 Colorado Avenue.
So it says in 300 feet, the destination is on your right. Well, the hotel I'm staying at is on your left. And on the website, when you click on it, it says 302 Colorado Avenue. So watch where it shows up. Here we go. Watch. There's the hotel. Now watch.
The destination is on your right. 302 Colorado Avenue.
Look what arrived at the destination. Look, it's an archway standing all by itself. So I wonder what the odds are that, what do you see the meaning of 302? Looked up 302, it means the church. 302, when you look it up, it means the church. And there's an archway there, guys. You know, the Vatican, it shows Lucifer coming through the archway with the Virgin. It looks like my destination has arrived. This is just mind-blowing. So anyway, we'll edit this into the video, and we're just gonna keep a running continual documentary of this and load it up tonight. All right, so here it is. We are at Grand Junction, looking out over the mountains, and we're at the corner of Casimir, which means covenant or proclamation of peace and rainbow. And here's the container. It's lit up. This is what I was told to do. And so it's all lit up. I'm going to go through this. There's the tree of life. This is what I was told to put in here. I was told to send it here by a miraculous set of events. So there's the tree of life. That's what the Lord told me to carve on this side, was the tree of life. And then I was told to make a table with the Lord's Prayer cut out in Hebrew. So the Lord's Prayer goes all the way around the table, and it lights up in different, it literally lights up in rainbow colors and goes all the way around the table. And the Lord's Prayer turns into a rainbow. It's absolutely phenomenal. The top is a magnetic field. It's an infinity symbol with the Bible on top, and the Word of God open. And so then this, I was instructed on this wall to do this circle with the heartbeat of life right in the middle. It's like a vortex. It actually makes a 6 and a 9. If you look at it, it's unbelievable. And it looks like it comes 3 feet off the wall into the container. It's so 3D. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It's amazing. It's just amazing to get to have done this. If you look at the sides out to the edge of the circle and then just follow it and go inside, look at that. That is just absolutely staggering, phenomenal. And so start at the outer rings and work your way towards the inside. And then it's got an exit door. And then over here it shows these are flames. And this is very, very prophetic. And the Lord told me on this wall to put flames and put on this wall the Statue of Liberty being covered by a tidal wave. And because this is what it's going to look like. Also on this wall is the Statue of Liberty being covered by a tidal wave and by flames. And it's a nuke. It's on your $10 bill. It's on the US $10 bill and the $100 bill. This exact event is printed on the US currency. The Lord told me He wanted me to play the prophetic utterance that I did in 2008 before Barack became president. And He wanted me to play that for you guys. The prophetic utterance, so y'all can hear those words again. I believe it's about to happen. That's what I believe. I don't know why He would have me here doing this otherwise. The Lord instructed me to put Jeremiah 51 verse 47. And the waves have come up over Babylon. And so there are the waves coming up over the Statue of Liberty. And this is what I was shown would happen. This was the prophetic gift given to me. And so here's the container, the table set. He had me put these glasses, and I was instructed to put the Shin symbol on one side, and then on the other side, I put the logo to my company. It represents the 5 that was redeemed, the V and the V that make the W. And so the Lord has redeemed, you know, the knowledge of good and evil. He's redeemed us from that. And that's a representation of the enemy always uses the 2 intersecting V's to make a W. I'll show that to you in this video. So anyway, I'm showing you guys, there it is. And I'm showing you what my work of faith was for the Lord. There's a black sheepskin right there on a chair facing one way and a white sheepskin facing the other way. And this was my work of faith. The container says Revelation 3:10 on the container itself. I was instructed to do that. You can see it up on the side. Revelation 3:10, which reads, I will save you from the hour of testing, because you have kept the word of my patience and you have not denied my name. Therefore, I will keep you from the hour of testing. So this whole container represents the New Jerusalem, the bride of Christ. That's what it represents. And I was instructed to come here and do a video, and so that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys. What you're about to hear is a re-recorded prophetic utterance that was given to me in 2007 and 2008 before Barack Obama became the president. Behold, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the hand of the oppressor has been lifted against you, and out of the sea shall come fire and smoke and a devouring wind. Water as high as the walls of Jerusalem will cover the city by the sea, and great shall be the destruction of that city. Behold, the great wall, which holds back the abundance of the rivers, shall burst forth, bringing the hand of the oppressor against you. For I have seen it, says the Lord. For mighty is your enemy that is risen from within your own borders. Now behold, the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place where it should not be. Here is the mystery made known to you. You are the holy place of which I speak. And the abomination of desolation shall rise from within the walls of the temple to destroy the temple. For have you not seen? Have you not heard? Has it not been made known to you? Have you not read the scriptures? For when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, they did bear children to them, and the same became mighty men. Has not the sea turned mighty? And the sea shall turn terrible before your very eyes, and the terrible one shall be elevated within the sea. And behold, the man of peace, Barack Hussein Obama, shall come forth from the sea, and with words of peace he will bring chaos and destruction. Behold, the fig tree puts forth its leaves, and suddenly the time is upon you. The travail begins, and it will not stop until the holy nation is brought forth. So here's a video of the container. It's my work of faith. There's a tabletop. It's a magnetic field, infinity symbol. The Lord's Prayer. There's a rainbow that goes around the whole thing. Turns to a rainbow. There's the Statue of Liberty being destroyed by a tidal wave and by nukes. It's going to happen. It's printed on the US currency. There's the tabletop from the other side, the Bible open. There's the portal, the spark of life, the heartbeat going through the portal. There it is. There it is. Absolutely amazing. There's the tree of life. It's amazing how it looks like it's all just moving. I'll just like zero in on that. Looks like it's just like energy flowing through it. There it is. Look, that's just so amazing. Yeah. The portal with the light going through it. Wow. The tree of life. There it is. Wow. There's my computer set up at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. There it is. And New York being destroyed by nukes in the water. Wow. There's the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. Mountains and hills in the background. There's my computer set up. And there's the container. It's got Revelation 3:10 written on it. Wow. The Lord's Prayer is a rainbow. Octagon. The Word of God on top. Absolutely amazing. So here we are. It's the sunrise, and our trip is accomplished, and I'm shutting the door to the container. Door 1 is going to shut and lock, and there's door 2. It's going to shut and lock. What an interesting time. Anyway, so, you know, my ministry was to let people know that there's a fire that's coming to destroy everything and to bear witness to the abomination that causes desolation. And that's what I've done. And I've tried to be as obedient as I know how. And I'm shutting the doors to the container right now. And the rest is up to the Lord. Everything will happen according to His time schedule. I just want to encourage everybody to just keep going. The end is in sight. All you have to do is look at the geopolitical landscape, and it's very obvious that the entire world's divided. Jesus said any kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So the world is going to be brought to desolation because the world is completely divided right now. So everything's proven out now. This ministry has been vetted. There's Revelation 3:10. There's Revelation 3:10 written on the container, just like I was told to do. All the supernatural occurrences have just proven out. The truth always supports itself, and all of the data and all the information has just been completely and utterly supported by the Lord and by the scriptures. They all support it. Everything's perfect. So anyway, turn around, give you guys a view of the mountains back there behind me. See if y'all can see them. It's kind of a glare. Anyway, but very fascinating time. So I'm going to lock up the container and put the lock on it. And I'm sorry, there's some people that asked if they could get together with me while I was here. It's just not possible. I don't have enough time. I'm leaving town today. Okay, so there's the 2 shin symbols I was told to put on there as well. 2 shin symbols, and oddly enough, there's a giant shin symbol in the front yard here. That's just so crazy, which I had no idea. Michael built a wedding arch out front with a shin symbol made out of rock. Just impossible. I mean, just absolutely impossible. So there's a lot going on. Container's locked. All right, guys. And I'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. Yeah, so I came into M&M Metals because we had a problem on the job. We had to fix a header. And when I walked in, I saw these 2 airplane seats behind me. And I told Mike, I was like, dude, I want those. And I said, sell me those. And he goes, we can't sell them. They're FAA. So we can give them away, though. So I got 2 airplane seats. So I guess you gotta wonder what the odds are that I ended up with a couple airplane chairs ready for takeoff. What are the odds? That's insane. Who has airplane chairs? Okay, so here we go. We're installing the glass doors. It goes through to both sides. And there's David and Jose installing. And because we had a little problem, I ended up with one set of airplane chairs ready for takeoff. Pay no attention to the pound of cedar on my face. Okay, so again, just like the first container, I had no real understanding of why the Lord wanted me to get it. But then it ended up at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, Covenant of Peace, you know. And the container represented the bride of Christ. That's why the Lord told me to write Revelation 3:10 on that container. And because of a bizarre set of circumstances with property issues here, the container ended up at an address in Grand Junction, Colorado, which means the great meeting. So anyway, so now this other container behind me took the place of the other one, and I just thought, well, I guess it's just to replace the other one. And the Lord told me to put these doors in it. They're the same as the other one. It's just a glass garage door, so you can look through both sides. It's kind of like it's like you can walk all the way through it. You can go from one side to the other. So there's a glass door right here that goes up. There's double metal doors on that side. And I think obviously here's the message, that the door's going to open up and there's going to be those that travel through. And then those metal doors, just like on this thing, they close up and they lock. Well, doesn't that just sound prophetic? Kind of like the Red Sea. It opened up, they went through, and then there went the Red Sea back into place and destroyed Pharaoh's army. What makes this so significant, though, is that the Lord told me He was going to show me a scripture to put my mind at ease, because this is a lot, guys. This is, just to be able to get yourself to be obedient and do, these kind of things. It's like, why? Well, Lord, just trust me. Just like taking me to This Is It. He told me to wear all black back in 2002, and tell Lou to wear all black and start driving towards New York. And I ended up at a place called This Is It, and I walked in wearing all black, and Lou was wearing all black. And we were the only white people there, and the place was jam-packed with black people. And that's how I knew, wow, you obviously heard the Lord. And Lou was with me, and she literally had a nervous breakdown because she could not wrap her brain around it. Like, how did you know to wear all black, Jonathan? I said, the Lord told me for both of us to wear all black. And see, we both thought we were going to end up in New York, but the Lord took us to this place called This Is It instead. That was in 2002. Just what, 2 weekends ago or a weekend ago? The Lord took me back to This Is It and to Christie's. It means follower of Christ. And a bunch of supernatural things occurred during that trip. Then today, these guys that, work on the side called me up and they said, hey, Johnny, we can come put these doors in. And it was just out of nowhere. And because we had a problem, one of the headers, that big wooden beam, that's called a glue lamp beam, and I ordered 2 of them, and we had to obviously install the wood that's behind me. See, look, like right here, we had to put these posts in, and we had to put these posts in right here, you know, to carry the load of these 2 doors, because, you know, that's what was required to do it. But that beam that came in, it wasn't cut straight, and it was not square. So when we went to install it and we pulled our tape from one end of the board and we cut it, it wasn't straight, and we were missing almost an inch of that beam. So you can see up in there in the corner, I called some friends at M&M Metals, and I told them, I said, guys, man, I'm having like a construction emergency, because this is the only days that David and Jose could help me do this. And I said, I need your help. So I went over to M&M Metals, and a friend of mine over there said, hey, Johnny, let's just make a shim, and we'll put the shim on the container on top of the post, and we'll, a 1-inch thick piece of metal. Think about just, it had to be welded, 2 1/2-inch pieces that were 3.5 wide, 14 high, and 1 inch thick, had to be welded, and then holes had to be drill pressed to get that thing in. It was kind of a big deal. And so the Lord knew it would happen, though. That's what's so crazy. So I went over to the metal shop, and when I walked in, they had these airplane seats. I was like, who the hell has airplane seats? Where'd you get the airplane seats? And I've been there so many times to do my metal work. They never had airplane seats. So I looked at Mike, and I was like, dude, where'd you get the airplane seats? And guys, in my spirit, I heard, ask him for them. That's just not my thing. Hey, Mike, can I have your airplane seats? It's a company. It's not his company. He just works there. And I said, and I heard in my spirit, ask Mike for the airplane seats. How weird. And so, awkward. And so I looked at Mike and I said, hey, Mike, you want to sell me those airplane seats? And the first thing he says, FAA regulations prevent the resale of any articles from airplanes. He starts quoting the law, and I'm looking at him and he goes, but hey, I have a set over in a warehouse, and I can give them to you. Can't resell them, but I'll just. And I was like, well, I missed your birthday. I can give you a birthday present or something. And so he gives me this set of airplane seats. First class airplane seats. Think about that. This is it. Double doors in both sides like a thoroughfare. How weird. 2 first class airplane seats, and then I hear the Lord tell me, Jonathan, I want you to do your videos sitting in those airplane seats. And I'm just like, what? Yeah, I usually sit in that white chair, and I hear the Lord tell me, I want you to sit in those airplane seats. Sounds like it's put your tray tables in the locked and upright position. Make sure your seat belts are tightly fastened low across your waist. Shut the door. Prepare the cabin. Time for takeoff. I don't even know what to say. I'll tell you what to say. The foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. So here I am. And the Lord gave me a very special scripture to show me it's over. He told me, I want you to open your Bible. And I opened up, and I'm going to share that with you. And we're going to break it down. It's Isaiah 11:11. And I just about fell out of my seat. Guys, I'm a harbinger. The King is coming. The King is coming. It's time to go home. It's the resurrection. And the door is going to open. And those who are ready are going to go through, and then the doors are going to be sealed shut. Sound familiar? All right, guys. It is what it is. That's all I can tell you. It's so crazy. Peace and grace. I love you guys. God bless. We're going to the wedding supper of the Lamb. Pray that you're accounted worthy to escape all these horrors that are coming on the earth and stand before the Son of Man. Praise God. So, yeah, I got quite a mess to clean up. So there it is. And there's one header carrying the load for that door. And there's another door. This is, the floor is all prepped, all the holes had to be filled, all the gaps, everything. Had to put a metal channel all the way around it. Still have to install that. It's ready to go, but I just gotta screw it down. It's already been drilled and countersunk. And so it's just gotta be put down. So we have a soup bowl to put the metallic epoxy in. And so this will be all primered by tonight. And then tomorrow will be metallic epoxy. And hey, does the stereo kind of look like a bug? It does. Wow. How unusual. Okay, I'm going to document real quick. There's a set of airplane seats that I got. I've been cleaning all day to get this place ready. I've been working on the container all weekend, doing what I was told to do. I turned the floor crimson red like blood and put in the 2 glass doors. I'll explain it during the video what was communicated to me. But I sat down here at this computer after doing work all day, and I was going to watch a soccer, here it is, a soccer video. Let's see. I was going to watch this soccer video, but an advertisement came on before it. I was sitting right here praying. I said, Lord, do you want me to fix up those 2 airplane seats? I know you told me it's time for takeoff. So, you know, I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means, you know, tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, next year. I don't know what it means. But I know you told me it's time for takeoff. That's why you gave me 2 airplane seats. So when I saw the Boeing commercial come on before this soccer thing, I said, Lord, do you want me to do those chairs right now? I'm exhausted. And then a Boeing commercial comes on, and I was like, how weird. I'm talking about airplane chairs, and a Boeing commercial comes on where it starts a countdown like for taking off. And I'm like, that is crazy. And I hear the Lord tell me, look up the Boeing commercial. So I look up the Boeing commercial, and I find it on YouTube, and I go to Boeing's website, I click on this commercial, and let me show you what it is. So is the Lord giving me seats because it's time for takeoff? Let's see. The future isn't somewhere out there. It's here. Now.
All second stage tanks now pressurized. 30 seconds and counting.
Wow.
Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is eternal. 12.
Guidance
11,
is
10,
eternal?
9. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be joking. The whole everything's taking off. Okay, now listen up. Can you imagine sitting in this chair saying, hey Lord, do you really want me to put those 2 airplane chairs right here? And then looking up right there at your computer and looking at a soccer video that has a Boeing commercial that's like time for takeoff and there's a countdown. That's like going to Houston, hey, or going to New York. Hey Jonathan, I want you to put on all black, tell Lou to wear all black. You start driving towards New York, and I get pulled over in Weimar, Texas, which means Holy Lake. I get taken to jail in Columbus, Texas, which means... So there it is. There's the floor. As per... Oh wow, look, it's a mirror reflection. Check it out. Oh my gosh. The whole thing's a mirror reflection of itself. Of course it is. See the whole thing's a mirror reflection. Oh my gosh. That's just absolutely crazy. There the doors are upside down, and there's the line of the doors. Oh my gosh, that is just crazy. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. There it is, it's done. I'm going to shut her up and just pray it all dries well. Leave it up to the Lord now. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? Look at the reflection. The whole thing reflects itself. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. So I'm going to document this real quick. This is just so crazy. And you know, some people ask me to quit using that word. I don't know another word for it. It's just so unbelievably miraculous, just impossible. So anyway, I'm trying to get all this stuff ready to do the video for you guys, the new updated, here's what happened with the container situation. The container, as far as I know, is done. As far as I know. And so I sit down and I said, Lord, do you want me to get those airplane seats ready? The other day, that's part of this miraculous thing, I was given a pair of first-class airplane seats. It was the most random, bizarre thing in the world. And I recorded the story already for you guys. But anyway, so I sat down, I've been cleaning my house all day long. Everyone bailed out on me that was supposed to help me. So I've been at it all day. You know, I was like, I need to get this video up. And there's the two airplane seats. And the Lord told me to replace the seat that I'm sitting in right here with those two airplane seats. But I had to put this piece of wood on the base because they've been taken out of the floor of an airplane, so I've got to put some kind of base on it. So anyway, so I come in here and I sit down and I'm like, Lord, I'm exhausted. I was like, you know, I'm really kind of tired. So I'm sitting right here and I said, Lord, do you really want me to put those, seats right here? I mean, you want me to do it now? And I sit down at my computer and I sit down and I open up YouTube, and I'm going to open it up right now. And I open up YouTube and let's see if it's in here. There it is. It says Russian football scores incredible backflip penalty. So I click on that just because I want to see what it is, and a commercial comes up just like this.
I got here. Hold on. We're good.
But the commercial that comes up is this Boeing commercial, and it's like, ready for takeoff. And I'm sitting there going, do you really want me to put those two airplane chair seats where I'm sitting right now, Father? Is that what you want me to do? And I turn on a soccer video, and it's got a Boeing commercial. And I hear the Lord tell me to look it up. So let me show you something. I'll show you my history. So, let's see. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. There it is. So I watched the soccer commercial. I watched the soccer, and I went and looked for the commercial, and it's called The Future is Built Here. So instead of having, the commercial that's on it when I pulled it up, it had, I'm sorry about the camera stuff. I'm watching a soccer video where a guy does a backflip, but a Boeing commercial comes on while I'm asking the Lord, do you want me to fix the airplane seats now? And it shows like a takeoff, and it's a count on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I hear in my spirit, the Lord said, look up the commercial. So I go on YouTube and I type in Boeing, future. I photographed the commercial on my desktop. I paused the commercial in front of the soccer video, and then I went and looked for it. And so here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and roll it back. And let's see. I think I'll turn the screen around to record it. Watch this.
Second stage tanks now pressurized. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
you